And I recognize myself for the purpose of making an opening statement. I ask for unanimous consent for Mr. Moskowitz from Florida and a member of the full committee to participate in today's hearing. Today, the Select Subcommittee is holding a hearing to examine the relationship between scientific journals and the government. This is not a hearing to see how the government can be more involved in the journal editorial process, but to make sure that the government does not involve itself or influence this process. Academic, scientific, and medical journals are an incredibly important tool to spread research to the masses. There's no denying the awesome power of these periodicals, as well as their editors, that they hold over the medical and scientific communities. After the COVID-19 pandemic, we see that, and it affects the world, for that matter. I utilize journals in my practice on almost a daily basis. They're an important component to the practice of science and medicine. And because of that, there can be no place for politics or inappropriate government influence. Journals and subsequently their editors are telling the world about research that has been conducted, yet it's important to note they are not necessarily always the arbiters of truth. They provide a forum where scientific claims are made, defended, and debated by peer review, as it should be. However, we saw a breakdown of that during the pandemic. Rather than journals being a wealth of information and opinions about this novel virus, of which we knew so little, they helped establish a party line that literally put a chilling effect on scientific research regarding the origins of COVID-19 and scientific communications. As I have stated time and time again, this subcommittee was established so we can collectively take a look back on the pandemic and see what we can do better for the next time. We invited the editors-in-chief of The Lancet, Nature, and Science. Only the editor of Science has had the courage to come and help us be better. And we're very thankful to Dr. Thorpe for being here today, and I appreciate the frank and professional conversation we had before today. The purpose of this hearing is to demystify the publication process. Editors hold an extraordinary amount of power within the journals and publication process, a process that is a black box to most of the public. They act as an umpire to judge the scientific research that is being published. Like an umpire, it's vital they know about the sport and rules of play, but they themselves should never be in the competition. Well, that is what appeared to have happened during COVID-19, and it's important to separate opinion versus scientifically proven fact, and to highlight that varying hypotheses may exist. The publications of papers like Proximal Origin, which this subcommittee has exposed as lacking in scientific integrity, as well as being prompted by Dr. Fauci and Dr. Collins, and the Lancet letter, where the Lancet did not even bother to check for conflicts of interest, it set a precedent from two of the most prestigious journals in the world that the natural origin of COVID-19 was the only theory plausible. Period. The end. That's not the case. And anyone else who had even the inkling of another plausible scientific thought was immediately labeled a conspiracy theorist. A conspiracy theorist. How is that acceptable in the scientific community when the entire crux of the field is open for debate? There is value in giving science a fair hearing. It should be the most pure and honest form of debate. We're holding this hearing to help shed light on the journal process so everyone can have a greater understanding of how business is conducted or maybe should be conducted. And I want to express my disappointment that Dr. Skipper from Nature and Dr. Horton from Lancet declined to participate today. But I again want to reiterate our appreciation to Dr. Thorpe for standing up, showing integrity to testify before this select subcommittee today. And I look forward to a strong on-topic discussion.